Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Today we're going to be looking at some of the features and some tutorials for how to use McNabbGames.com and most of its affiliate sites, such as CreatureWeek.com or Morgalad.com. Let's see here. So I'll go ahead and find our screen sharing application. Okay. So here we are at our website, McNabbGames.com. Now we're going to go through a couple of the steps here. You'll see this is our home page. We have a little pop-out radio that you can click here. It'll open up a little radio player to the side for game room ambience. It's just to help with the immersion. We have some top-rated products down here. Now the top-rated products is everything that we sell on our site. That is every vendor included, whichever one is rated the best or downloaded the most. It's going to be down there regardless of what vendor it's from. So let's say from a new person standpoint, we want to create an account. So we'll go to the My Account page. It's going to take a little while to load. And so now we're going to create a new account. So we're going to register. And we're going to do this one vendor@McNabbGames.com. Password. Oh, there we go. Okay, so as you can see, it takes a couple tries because they want to make sure that we want to make sure that you have a strong enough password, so that way it'll be a little bit more difficult for people if they try to figure it out or try to take access to your account. So the password rules are pretty strict. It's very common in most websites nowadays. But at this point, this is where you would register. You'd set up your email address and you set up your password, whatever you want it to be. Now, if you want just a plain account, just to purchase products on the site, that's all you need to do. But let's say instead of just buying from our website, you wanted to, in the future, create products that you could turn around and sell. Well, you'd click Apply to become a vendor. You have our terms and conditions, which are right here. If you click on those, that'll open up in a new window. Once you've checked those out, if you agree to all of them, you just click that I have read and accepted the terms and conditions and select register. That'll take you just a second. Okay, and then you will see a page similar to this. Vendor dashboard. Your account has not yet been approved to become a vendor. When it is, you will receive an email telling you that your account is approved. So what you can do at this point, you have already created a basic account, but you have a pending vendor status. And what that means is you can buy products from the store, you have an account, and basically what your account on this site does is you can view your regular dashboard, anything that you've purchased, any account details you'd like to update, or you can log out. So if you have purchases, they should show up here, which yet again, the website's taking a little bit to load. So since we haven't bought anything, no orders have been made yet, so you can go shopping. Now, that's all fine and good. So if you're just wanting to purchase stuff, you want to play around, maybe contact us whenever we get the forum up and running, go play at the forum. You've already got an account set up. So let me go in and approve that vendor's account real quick. It'll take me just one moment. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, now I'm using a secondary computer to prove the vendor's account, just so that way I don't have to log out of this one and then log back into it. So let's go back here to McNabb Games. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Let's reload. Okay, here we go. So now you'll receive an email that says your vendor application has been pending. Once it's marked as approved, you'll receive your vendor application has been approved. Applicant status approved, applicant username, vendor. So as of right now, I'm currently logged in to your account on the site. You've been approved as a vendor. So now what do we do to start selling things? Well, now, and if you want to sell something, once you've logged in, you'll go over to your vendor dashboard. Okay. Now, as of right now, you can get your sales reports, your orders, all your information. So you can view your store, go to your store settings, or add new products. You can go to add new product. Type in your username, and then whatever you set your password to be. And now you're able to access the vendor's dashboard on the back end of the site. So now, how do we go about adding products? You'll go up here to the little products category, select the add product subcategory. And this is where all the magic happens. So to add a new product, type in your product name, description. This is a product. You can also drop a short description. It's recommended to do, this is more of your lengthy description here if you want to do a full explanation. And then you have a short description. Now, there's usually two types of products, two different types of products. And what they are virtual and physical. Now, at times, you can have a virtual product with physical purchases as well. But we're going to do it kind of simple right now, and we'll get into more detailed stuff later on. So on our site, we have flat rate shipping. It's based off of the United States Postal Service's flat rate shipping boxes. The flat rate shipping for the parent site is usually about $7 for domestic US and $22 for all other locations. And that's based on your origin. Now you can adjust your shipping rates, so on and so forth, in your shop settings, and you can create your own custom shipping rates and everything too. So back to the simple products. If it is a physical product, such as something that you are going to create, sell, or otherwise package and send to a customer, all you're going to do is just type in whatever the price is, $9.95, your short description, long description. If it's an accessory, if it falls under some form of fiction, if it's a game or a giveaway, you'll hit any applicable product categories, throw in some product tags. Make sure you separate your tags with a comma. And then click add. And now it's got egg and squirrel, just because that's the first thing that comes to mind. You want to make sure that while a gallery is always recommended so that way people can see more, you always need to at least set one product image, regardless of what it is. Then you can go here to your shipping, and you could select our flat rate shipping, which is as I described to you. It's $7 for domestic US or $22 for outside of the US. Now we'll create one that calculates later on, but I think the flat rate is probably going to be the simplest term at this time, just to help make sure that everything is shipped adequately. And once you have your shipping class selected, flat rate, you have your price, you have your descriptions, your product image, your tags and categories, and your name. What you'll do is you'll hit submit for review. And that will send this product over to the administrators of the site. They'll look it over, make sure that it doesn't violate any standards, doesn't violate anybody's copyright, just because we do want to make sure that if you come and you start selling with us, that somebody can't come make a fake account and then start trying to rip off your products. So that's why we have so many layers of authentication. It's to help further the integrity of the site. Now you can preview the product. I'm pretty sure that as a vendor you should be able to see the product. Yeah, so you can see the preview, and this is what it will look like whenever it goes live. See, we didn't select a product image, so this is why you need one. Here's your long description. This is the short description. It's usually at the bottom. Anytime anybody writes a review, we'll have something set up there. And that's pretty much it. And so people, you have your quantity count and add to cart. So that's how you do a standard product. Now, for virtual products, they're a little bit more tricky. So this is a simple product. It's virtual. So with a virtual product, there's no shipping involved. And a virtual product is usually some sort of file, whether it's an MP3 audio file, JPEG, or a PNG stock art file, or a PDF. Now, once you've selected virtual, everything else is the same. You have your descriptions, you have your product image, your product name, your categories and tags. Now, you would think that once you select virtual, that would be it. But where do you put your files? The files that your customers are going to download once they've paid the price and purchased this product. You're going to need to make sure that anytime you have a downloadable file associated with either a virtual or a physical product, because some game companies do like to offer PDFs whenever people buy their physical rule books. Anytime that there's a downloadable file associated with a product, you need to make sure that you select downloadable as well. Now this opens up a whole new situation here. You have a download limit. I usually prefer to leave them as unlimited, so that way people can come back if their computer crashes and re-download something that they previously purchased. However, you can set that limit to whatever you want. If you say 900 and 9,009. That's how many downloads we have, 199,009. but we decide, hey, it's getting to the point where it's way too high. How do we make it unlimited again? All you do is just back it out, backspace, and leave it blank, and it automatically defaults to unlimited. If you want the downloads to expire after a certain number of days, you can set that to whatever you want. Say after 30 days that it expires. Just back it out, goes default back to never. I usually leave these three settings exactly the way they are: unlimited, never, and standard product. Just so that way there's nothing to really worry about. Now, the downloadable files associated with this product. How do we add them all? So what we're going to do is we're going to go to add file. You can give it any name you want here. And this is basically how it's going to download. So test product PDF. So you have a file URL here. This is usually a path if you're hosting something on your Google Drive, PogoPlug, iCloud, or anything such as that that you are sharing publicly that can be downloaded. You can put the file URL here, and people can download from that source. That's a little bit, it can be a little bit irritating and it can get complicated at times if you don't have the URL set up correctly. So sometimes you'll get errors and download errors. So it's always, that's one of the reasons why we as administrators have to check each product, is to make sure the download links are functioning correctly. So one way to get around that, and just to make sure that the URL structure is complete for whatever product you have, instead of linking to something that's on an outside drive, you can just select choose file. And select files. You can upload any files that you want. The maximum size is 20 megs. So that's per file. So if you have, let's say, a soundtrack that you've made that's MP3s, and the overall collection is, let's say, 1.8 gigabytes. Instead of, there's a limit. Instead of uploading the whole 1.8 gigabytes as one huge zip file, you can go in and get each of those MP3s as long as they're less than 20 megabytes and upload them that way. Let's see, we have our line sheet. So we'll open up the line sheet just for an example. And now you can upload as many products as you want. You don't have to worry about that. We have plenty of space on our servers. So as many files that you want to associate with a product, you can. As many products as you want. You're not going to run into a product limit. You're not going to run into any type of server distress issues by adding too many files to it. The only reason that there's a 20 meg limitation is because that's to ensure that the site doesn't get too hung up, and that's just the way that the system is structured to be able to handle files of that size. But yet again, we're on kind of a slow connection running all these tests, so you have to overlook how long it's taking. But I guess the extra time allows me to extrapolate a little bit and helps to give a few moments for everything to really sink in, so you can get a good overview of how all this looks. And so once you click upload, it brings you over to your media library. And so once you get so many files uploaded, you could always go back to your media library file. Instead of uploading something new, you go to your media library and select it here. And so we'll go insert file into, and now here it is. Here's your full file path right there. It automatically populates and fills that in for you whenever you put that product in there. And apparently I hit too far back. Anyway, let's get back to where we were. There we are. Now, once you've added your file, let me go back in and redo that. Media library. There it is. Okay. Now, do you have to have a file name? No, you don't. It will append whatever file name is there, so that way you don't have to actually type one in. However, some people, they might save their files such as test1, test2, test3, test4, and they don't want all those numbers in there. They can just type in test, and it'll append and make that the actual file name. And then you'll just go through the same process. Submit for review. You have, this is your little timer area. You'll see that it actually, there's usually a little rotating clock here while it's uploading. And you can go through, preview your product from this link. Once it becomes live, everybody will be able to see it on the site. Let's see here. If you go under the products tab, over to products category, it will actually bring you to a complete list of all of your products. Okay, there we go. Now, do we have to go through that entire process just to update the price? No, we don't. From the products panel, this is where everything will show up. You'll have every product that you create will show up in a list, just like what's here. If you scroll over here, that'll tell you what type of product it is, whether it's virtual or physical. But let's say you just want to change the price. You can click Quick Edit. It'll open up right here. You can add any tags, change the categories, change the name, change the price. If you want to make a product a particular sale, we're going to sell it for $5. There we go. Let's say no shipping class. Now let's say about visibility. Let's say we don't want this product to be seen anymore. You can select hidden. That'll hide it. If you want it to be back ordered, you can allow that or notify the customer, however you want to do it. I usually don't allow them just because it makes things simpler for me because I have so many products to keep up with. Back ordering can sometimes be a little bit difficult because if you manage your stock, then if it's something that's print on demand, then it all depends on what your preference is as far as managing what stock you have available and which ones you don't. But this is the quick way. You just click update, and it'll push that in there. Now, that's pretty much how you add a product, how you edit a product, and the two most common types of products. Now, sales reports. Everybody loves looking at paperwork. So here's how things work here. Here on McNabbGames.com, we have a default commission set up. And the way that this functions is, unlike most digital marketplaces where you can come and publish your products and still retain your copyright, you might see at most 70 to 80% commission on whatever you sell, which means for every $1 that you sell something on drive-through or Amazon or other sites, you may see up to 70 or 80 cents, depending on what their fees are. Now, the way that it works here on our site is we give out 90% commission, which I haven't seen any other site that offers that as far as a digital marketplace. Now, that means for every $1 that you sell, you get 90 cents of that $1. We receive on McNabb Games 10% commission on whatever you sell, merely because we offer the unlimited space for you to upload as many products as you want. And so that way our administrators can be paid to actively watch the site for new vendors, new products, and to provide all of the site maintenance and updates that are required. 10% doesn't sound like much to run a site on, but we've streamlined things to a point where that's really all we need. And the whole mindset behind our company, the whole theology and philosophy is making something enjoyable without costing as much as our competitors. So not only are our products and our offerings cheaper than most of our competitors, also we pay out more in commissions than most of our competitors. So anytime that you have a sale, you'll have it set up here on your sales report tab. You can see your whole yearly sales report, last 7 days, or you can even do a custom area. You can export your sales report as a CSV. Let's see. So yeah. Sales by product. So you can select whatever product you're looking for, so that way you can make sure that it's the correct product. Make sure that you select the correct products, because this is going to show quite a few products. So make sure that you select the right stuff, just so that way you can get the correct information for your sales reports. Because sometimes, you know, you might be looking for a sales report for just a set of cards, but the yearly or the custom date is going to give you everything unless you go through and select specifically the deck of cards. Let's see the shop settings. Now the shop settings, this is how you will set up how you are paid your commission. It's preferred that you have a PayPal address, because we use PayPal for all of our payment processing, just because they can handle PayPal as well as credit and debit cards. So whatever email address you set up your PayPal account with, you'll put that in here. And anytime that you get paid, that payment will be sent out to that PayPal address. You could actually file and get a free PayPal business account. And with that, you'll get a PayPal debit card. So you'll actually have essentially a direct deposit account at that point with an active debit card that you could use to, you know, go buy groceries or pay your bills or what have you. If you're just a, you know, self-published author or artist just trying to get by and make a little extra cash. That's actually what I did for quite a while, because whenever I was in the middle of working, you know, you have to stop and get something to eat, or you have to keep the lights on at the office. This is where your shop name is at. So you'll put whatever your custom shop name is. If you are a self-titled person and you prefer to just put your name there, put it on there. Any info about yourself, you can add an image. You can add quotations. Everything here functions like a normal word processor. You can do a description of the shop. Once you're done, just make sure you save any settings. And that's pretty much all there is to that. So we've looked over products, sales reports, shop settings, orders. Orders is one more that is fairly important. You are going to get an email every time there's an order. And what's going to happen is it's going to come up, and it's going to automatically come up as processing. The order will stay in the processing stage until you go in here, select the order, and then select mark as complete, or you can refund, or you can cancel the order. It's entirely up to you. If a dispute happens with an individual, you can cancel an order. You are not required to sell to anyone that could be abusive or liable against you. You know, Um, we firmly believe that management has the right to deny service to anybody that may be abusive or disrespectful to them. So we do encourage individuality, and we do encourage inclusiveness, but at the same time, it's not at the risk of anyone's best self-interest. Um, Now, can you accept someone's money and then cancel an order on them? No, that's absolutely unacceptable. We don't stand at that, and the way the system's set up, it won't accept that, and it won't allow that to happen. If you cancel an order, they're going to get refunded. Um, Sometimes, anytime people hear, oh, you can cancel an order, that makes people a little curious. And a prime example of what you would cancel an order for is if somebody places an order for such as a team badge or a t-shirt or something such as that, or a physical copy of a book, and say you just accidentally had a miscount whenever you took inventory, and you get there to your shelves, you go to pull the book and you find out that that particular volume actually sold out, and you realistically had less in quantity than you thought you did. At that time, you would go in, you could actually contact your customer if you wanted to and explain to them the situation, see if you could work something out with them. If you can't, or if you don't want to, risk any of that, you can always cancel the order and just explain, hey, just didn't have enough inventory. It's nothing personal. It was a mistake. Here's your money back. That's it. I don't see that happening too much because most of us are fairly responsible, but the option is there. So if you do make a mistake, you're not scrambling. Oh God, I've got 2 weeks to print a book, get it here, get it to this person, get it drop shipped, so on and so forth. You do have the option to say, oops, I made a mistake. Here's your money back. Here's a refund. So you can refund an order as well as complete it. It all depends on, what the next step would be. Now you will get a notification if a customer cancels an order. You will get a notification in your orders that will say order canceled, and you can go in there and you can leave it as is because it's not going to affect anything, or you can delete it completely out of your system just so it's not cluttering up the area. It's entirely your preference. So that's how the orders, that's pretty much all there is to explain about orders. Now, every vendor has a media library, and a media library is any files that you have uploaded, whether it's product images, downloadable product files, so on and so forth. You can click on your media library. I showed a brief view of the media library whenever we were uploading the product image for the list sheet. This is just a placeholder, but every product and every media file that you upload will show up here in this media library. If you want to add new files, you can do that. Just so let's say I've got like 10 files. I want to just go ahead and upload them all at once. Get them done, not have to worry about it. So that way I can just go into, whenever I start writing up all of my products, let's say we've got a gin here. Let's say I've got 12 creatures to do ecologies for, and I want to go ahead and get my product images up there. You can go to your media section and just upload all of your files, so that way whenever you create your product, you can just click media library and select it. It's entirely whatever your personal preference is. The whole purpose behind this, it's the whole purpose that we do everything, is to make things as easy as can be, while at the same time maintaining security, and at the same time opening up new opportunities for small businesses, as well as the larger corporations. We want to make it kind of an equal playing field, while at the same time not being greedy about it. I know it's not very easy listening to me ramble. I'm not much for public speaking, so I tend to ramble on, but so do most writers after a time if you get them sitting in a chair talking long enough. But I think that's pretty much a basic breakdown of how to use all of the functions in your vendor dashboard. Once you're done, and let's say you just want to go back to the site and play around, you can always go up here to McNabb Games, and once it drops down, select Visit the Site. And that brings you right back to the home page. And from the main page, the main website, let's say you don't want to click on the vendor's dashboard and go through all that navigation. Let's say you just want to see your orders. You come here, you go to My Account, log in. We're already logged in because we didn't log out from last time. But once you've logged in with your username and password, go to vendor's dashboard. Say we want to see what our orders are. Click Orders. And this will tell you what all orders you have. Say, let's see our shop settings. These are our basic shop settings. Vendor at Gmail or vendor at McNabb Games. Shop name. Vendors. Seller info. Shop description. Save. So that's two of the most commonly used pages that are just right here on drop down, just to make it easier, so you don't have to go through the whole back end to be able to access and make those little changes. Sometimes people like to throw little header images in there, just anything to help with brand recognition. Or you can always just click on the vendor dashboard and go straight into the back end. You can view how your store looks without seeing all the vendor stuff. I'm not sure how well anything's going to pop up here because we haven't really done too much. We've mostly just done an explanation. Let's see if we can get this load. So this would be the products archive, but since we don't have any approved products, we're kind of just hanging out here. But from the vendor's dashboard, you can see everything. Once everything's approved, you'll start seeing your store populate. It'll set up. But one thing that you need to do is you need to make sure that you have your PayPal address in here, your shop name, seller info. That's probably why nothing's coming up on the shop, is because it doesn't have a name. You need to fill out your shop settings. That's the first step you should do. Is fill out your shop settings, then go to vendor's dashboard, and then you can start adding products. So the steps of how to navigate and use our site. Go to My Account, register an account if you want to be a vendor. Select the checkbox, apply to become a vendor. Once you are approved to become a vendor, then you can go in to the vendor's dashboard page. You can go and set up all your store settings. Once you have your store settings put in and saved, make sure that you save them. That is one of the biggest things that I cannot reiterate enough, is save your work. Once you have saved them all, you can go back to your vendor's dashboard and start adding products. I hope this helped clarify some of the questions, and I really hope that this helps you out, because we look forward to having you all as vendors. Every person that believes that they have the talent necessary, and everybody that just wants to give it a shot. We're always looking forward to you, whether you are a writer. We have a section for fiction as well as nonfiction. If you are a game designer, we have a section for gaming products, which is primarily what we're concerned with. If you want to be on the radio station, or if you create audio, we do have a section, a category for audio, whether it be soundtrack, um, whether it's a an actual demo reel or anything such as that. We have an area for that. Um, a lot of the time we do offer promotion for our musical artists on our internet radio. So if you are a musical artist, you can not only sell your stuff in the shop, but you can have it played on the radio as well. Um, for stock art or prints, we do have an area for artwork as well. So regardless of what you have to sell, if it is in, whether it's in just as an author, illustrator, or a musician, we have a place for you. We have a need for you. We would love to work with you, and I look forward to hearing the feedback from each and every one of you. So, in closing, I hope this has been helpful. I know there's only about 2 or 3 vendors at the time on our page, so this is kind of just a more personal thank you, and here's a simple tutorial from the creator of the company and the site. So I look forward to working with you. Over time, these tutorials will probably be a little bit shorter. They'll probably be a little bit more professional, especially as we get more vendors in here. So I hope you all had a great time, and we look forward to working.